Lethal and myself are going to be bringing you through some of the best moments of the past week in each of our ESL Mobile Open shows and esports. And we're going to kick things off with PUBG Mobile. Lethal, when was your last chicken dinner?
A few weeks ago, so, I feel bad. It's been a while, but never mind. I'm sure the other teams have had plenty more over the last week. One in particular, though, we've got to talk about, as we will look at the standings very shortly, is the fact that number one EU, funny enough, they are number one EU, had 13 wins. That's ridiculous, to say the least. And look at some of the other stats as well. The 4 Romanian boys, 228 kills. Marvellous stuff.
It is absolutely unbelievable. Second most wins, by the way, is 9 by OP Devils. So number one EU are ahead by 4 game wins in total. It's absolutely unbelievable to see that. And yes, we've got Tip Top Teletubbies. What a fantastic name. Sitting in 4th position. But I mean, look at the difference in points. It's actually not a huge margin. I mean, from number 1 to number 8 is 100 points. Now, that is quite significant. But between number 1 and number 6, I mean, we're only talking something like 50 points, Lethal.
Yeah, that's ridiculous to say the least. Talking about some of these teams, you've got top players with some top team names, which I love to see. And just going into the bottom 8 now as well, looking at the 9th to 16th placements in terms of these teams. Now, there's a huge margin just due to the fact that the amount of kills some of these teams are getting, as well as the high placements, is just madness. Like I said earlier, the fact that number 1 EU had 13 wins, some of the other teams had 9 wins, 8 wins, and some of these other teams as well, they're probably getting the placement, but not getting the kills to follow through.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that begs the question, do you play slow for position? Because, I mean, I've talked about this in previous recap shows that we've done. Do you play for position, or do you play for the maximum amount of kills you can physically get, but then you're putting yourself in danger by opening yourself up to being killed from different positions?
It's a big decision to make. Is more about the numbers game. So if you're still in a 4 stack and you're able to progress the map, quite well, depending on the circumstances and where you're positioned, then you should be okay. You should more go for kills more than anything else. But if you're not really got the numbers, you're in a 1 or 2 stack and you have to, try and be the snake in the grass and maybe try and go for a cheeky flank, then it's always possible. Even playing some of the last phases, the last couple of phases, especially at the circle, just, doing ring around the rosy, going around the outside, just making sure you can try and find anyone who's trying to play for placements to the kills. That's kind of your opportune moment, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that during these games.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of snakes in the grass. As we jump into our first map, we got Team 4D right now. It's a 4-kill game right now. We've got 9 alive. There you go, with 3 teams up, but the whole squad is up right now, so they're definitely in an advantageous position, Lethal.
Certainly are indeed, just taking their time. The only problem is they haven't got that circle advantage. Just waiting to see if there is any members around that left and right side, but you should be okay so far. 5 kills is still pretty good, but it's taken a lot of damage. Good spray there. This is almost being cleaned up. Does have a couple med packs, but hasn't got any energy drinks or painkillers to rectify his stack and actually go back to 100 health. But again, good spray from Mash. Great start from him.
We're sitting in a little bit of a stalemate, like you said, a little bit of a semi-push there, and then he's decided to double back, but we're switching over to 7 Sins right now as both teammates get dropped out of the car, so we're switching over to Seiko, I think, in Team 14. 7 Sins is lying down, basically going to try and push through this building here. Great drop right there, and 2 up from 7 Sins as we progress into 5 teams being up and 10 alive.
Good reaction, good caution as well, jumping out of that buggy and making sure that no one is inside the building by any means. 5 kills, not too bad, as Seiko is going to be looking for more. Does have the Thompson out, does have a few med packs, a couple of energy drinks as well, and he's still got that level 2 backpack to make sure that if he does become one of the last members in that circle, he will not be seen or as visible as the rest of his opponents. But good spray against a couple of members on the opposite side, but gets taken down at the same time. Worth the trade, though, in terms of that 2-for-1 pickup. And would he get revived, though? This is the next question, Banks.
It is indeed. We've got, it's worth noting as well that Rudden, who is the purple little blob on your screen on the top right in your mini-map, he's the solo that took down 2 of the 7 Sins players as they tried to escape in the vehicle. And he's actually got circle advantage, but he is a solo right now. 3 teams up, 5 alive. We've got 2 duos and a solo, and it's shaping up to be quite a spicy ending here, Lethal.
Yeah, a bit of a misplaced smoke there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to do the damage, or at least give him the map presence. Map presence is so vital. But you saw there as well, they were just outside the circle, and now we're switching over back to Erangel and see what Einhad can do here. Just driving up in the Dacia, just making sure that's that positional advantage up on the high ground. But the vehicle's getting heavily slain here, and so is he with the vehicle in itself. Not the kind of position you want to be in here, Banks.
Yeah, you're just giving away your position a little bit too much by driving around the edge of the blue. Surely you would try and maybe go for a run. I know you wanted to get the position advantage and potentially use the car as cover as well, but I mean, you're opening yourself up to all kinds of problems by doing that. So you've got Food Utopia right now for ZX right now. And he's just chilling. I mean, what can he do in this situation, Lethal? He's really stuck. He's going to have to just sit behind this tree. He's basically got map position as well inside the circle. And he's just rotating around the tree to just ensure that he doesn't get picked off from anywhere behind him. I don't know if he maybe heard something, but it appears that nothing is behind him. Maybe it's the smoke. What do you reckon it is?
Well, he hasn't got the numbers, so he's just trying to play for placement instead, which is perfectly understandable. But switching over to the next team, we're going to see what they can do here. Only 4 kills so far, which is understandable considering the amount of people who are alive. So we're looking to at least try and double the kill stack if they can. He's actually going to rush straight in just to try and get some more cover and using that smoke to his advantage. But look at this though, he's got 4 med packs, he's got 4 energy drinks, 1 painkiller as well. So he's still got plenty to work with in order to what he wants to do here. And so far he's just trying to back away, see if he can find any good placement with those nades, but he's already taken a lot of damage in the process and trying to re-heal.
It's interesting to see as well. I'm loving that Food Utopia. You can still see him on the screen. He's just chilling at the top, right at the top of the hill, chilling behind his little tree stack, just trying to just feel out. Basically, the ideal situation for him is he's just waiting for the other teams to kill each other so we can get those placement points, because there's no chance he's really going to be able to push forward. But DRM Ganj gets dropped. And we're going to switch on over to Drogo right now. They're not in the best of positions right now. They're a little bit open, but they're all going to be forced into the circle right now by the blue. And back to Food Utopia at the tree, getting the drops. That's it right there. Get those kill points. Rack up your score as much as you can. Try and basically feel it out. There's 3 teams alive now. We've got to remember, Food Utopia was chilling behind this tree, okay, when there were 5 teams up. He's gone 2 more team placements up. Oh, and he might about to get dropped. Oh, it's close, Lethal.
That was so close indeed. He's going to try and re-heal, but will he be able to get back into the zone? Oh, literally about 0.1 second. Probably even less than that. That was ridiculous. Using the smokes as well as cover just so that he can reposition himself towards that circle. But this is his main goal, not just about kills, more about placement. Don't get me wrong, this guy has got a ridiculous spray from long range. That's a great example there. Being able to do that with the M4 from that range is marvelous stuff. Still has a level 3 helmet, still got the armor, still got level 3 backpack, so it will be a little bit visible, but look at this, he hasn't got any kind of meds at all, no med pack, bandages, energy drinks, absolutely nothing in the slightest. All he wants to do now is try and play for placement just to secure a few more points. Team kills 11, not too bad.
Yeah, Team 16 in the distance. I mean, he's very snaky right now. He's trying to make his way over to this red box to try and basically just get some resemblance of cover that's inside the next circle, but he's got to not peek. He literally just has to sit here. This is one of the things that he's got to do. I don't understand. I think we're about to witness right now. He's going to start peeking and trying to get a few pot shots off. It's just not worth it. Well, I don't understand why he does it. He really needs to just maintain his cover. He's actually got pretty good cover, because if you look to his right, he got another solo to his right that's just chilling out there, and he gets dropped because he decides to peek. Lethal, can't believe it.
What I don't understand is the fact that he dropped everything in order to, you know, not be seen by anyone else and one of his opponents, but yet he stands up. So, yeah. Interesting, a little bit of a question mark, a bit debatable, but I'm sure maybe he had other plans in order to maybe push on through. But Kazuki, good spray from him. He's going to try and back away as he takes down News. He's going to fall back. He's still got a med kit to use, but hasn't got anything to revive him fully. But that's should be okay here. Still in a 1v3 scenario. Meza take down 2 minions, cleaned up right at the very end. Good start from him. Almost a good finish, but just couldn't carry away.
Moving over to south of Junkyard on Miramar, we have 4 MIAs, apparently, on this squad right now. Moving on through, I mean, got a nice bit of cover here. Could probably, I was literally about to say he can probably get the res, but just got spotted from the top of that ridge right there. Going to move back into the building to try and basically get the res off so they can be 4 up once again, Lethal.
Yeah, the temptation was there, but maybe he should not have gone for it. He should have just been a bit more patient and let his actual teammate crawl into the building. due to the fact that his opponents did have an incredible height advantage and positional advantage as well. So it was quite difficult. Still outside the circle, but they are on the far side of the circle as well, which means that they need to work quick in order to go through this next phase, as the zone will be coming in shortly. They're looking to see what they can do. Does have a Scar in hand, but plenty of health, plenty of med kits, bandages, you name it, he's got it. He's a walking chemist here, as he could be going straight up that hill. Just deploy a few shots, not to take him down, but just to show that he is here. He is waiting for his opponent to come through, but also at the same time just make himself known so that it lets them know that they need to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more cautious, just trying to gain a bit more grounded, but looking good so far.
I mean, 3 up right now. They're definitely in a good position here. We've got 9 kills as well. So it's proving to be quite a high kill game. And they're putting themselves in a really good position to get a lot of points in this map. But everything can change in a heartbeat. They just need to get the good position. OP over there on the left. We've seen them multiple times on the ESL Mobile Open weekly recap shows. Really, really strong team. Definitely put in the high kill games most of the time. So we're about to see Nan Vin as well in the distance for Team 4, for Team OP, in fact. I mean, he's racking up a lot of kills, and we're probably going to see a few more on this map. Oh, there gets one dropped. The Soka gets dropped. And see, there you go. It can all change in a heartbeat. You've got 2 more knocks. One's been finished. There's only 1 up, 3 down. Demon is the last one alive, and he gets dropped. See, it can all change in the space of 5 seconds, Lethal.
Oh, that was such a shame. The problem was they were a team of 3. There was only 3 other teams or 2 left. Even though they've had the numbers, in terms of circle advantage, they did not have it at all in the slightest. They had to push in, you know, and that's the worst bit, is the fact that you've got to overextend in order to regain a decent position. Just wasn't going to happen here. As Nanbe managed to get some good kills there. Great spray from him. Ridiculous with that AK. He's going to try and throw that frag to see if he can take down any more of the members of ELOC there. Will he be able to, though, with that grenade? He manages to get one, funny enough. Managed to possibly clean up one of the kills he actually bagged earlier on, just using that molly to get him out, and managed to take it. So good stuff from him, as we're switching back to old and faithful Erangel.
9 kill game for Nanvin then. That was incredible. But right now we're on 6 kills. It's Team Rain, 7 alive, 3 teams. It's going to be a showdown. We are approaching one of the final circles. It's getting a bit tighter. 7th circle to be precise. And we are literally just north of Mansion on Erangel, like you already mentioned, Lethal. Open circle. You're going to have to use a lot of smokes here. You're going to have to rely on your nades as well, considering it is so open, in fact, sorry. And they've got 3 up. So again, a really good position. It's a 3, a 2, and a 1, I think, that we have up.
Yeah, it's going to be very close. Still 6 alive, like you've already mentioned. Just trying to reheal just a little bit. He's not going to use his bandages. Not too sure why, but I think he just wants to make sure he can have as much HP as possible. Those 2 bandages would have almost regained his health anyway, as he's still just playing it very, very safe. Still got the M4 in hand as well as the nade. Just looking to see where he wants to nade next. And he's still not too bad in terms of his circle positioning, but he wants to go around that outside, as you can see. He's just been a bit more cautious about it. Still got a med kit if he does get caught by the zone. Only a tad. His teammate is still with him. Team kills 07, looking pretty good. But every member on this zone so far is just playing it super patient, waiting for someone to make that first mistake, making sure they can try and get some kind of advantage on their opponent. But this is much slower than what we expected compared to when we first came into this banks. And it looks like now Yo-Yo is going to see if he can actually push it in ever so slightly, looking for that 1 kill, but gets taken down in the process, as Distian actually managed to take 2 for himself. Still 6 alive, just a couple knocked down.
This is a difficult position because you got Rain, you got a barbecue over on the left-hand side. Can he get off any of these reses? We've got 2 down there making their way over towards him. Are they giving away his position by crawling over to him if they manage to get a pot shot on? Team 18 up on the top left is the only solo at the moment. So we got Rain as the solo. Now, they basically put Fell, Team 22 on our screens right now. They put them in a really advantageous position because they're the only duo that are up now. And we kicked off with 3. Oh, they should have just played it a little bit more safe. We've still got 7 team kills, so still a decent amount of points, even if they come out of this second, but we've got 2 teams alive. Can Barbecue make it happen? Oh, he gets dropped right at the end there. It's so difficult there. 1v2. I mean, it's got to be... You got something special's got to happen to pop off, maybe land a nade and then switch over. But we're over on Miramar right now with Team 1, just south of Los Leones.
That's the problem. You see, you know, even though you've got the numbers, you're trying to use that strategic aggression to increase the kill load, which they did try to do. They had the height advantage, but not the position they needed, so they got taken down, which is a little bit of a shame. But Valentine, let's see what he can do here for Team 6 and find out what he can do. He's still not no kills as of yet, but his team does have 6, so he's going to be looking for his first frag on the board. Still using the M4. Still got a fair amount of meds in order to work with. He does take a fair amount of damage. Just managed to see 1, but oh, literally like 5 or 10% of health. Yeah, you do that. You use that med kit. But look at that. You can see he's actually repeat and still managed to finish him off. That was so close. But this is the difference between good players and greatness. It's the fact that you've been able to predict and use your initiative to the possibility of your opponent re-peaking. And he delayed it so long. His opponent thought he's already backed off to re-heal. Great play from him and great first kill on this map.
Confidence play there by one Valentine. Now popping off shots again from Team 12, trying to escape in the car. Gets another drop. Here we go. Here come the kills for Team 1. Valentine absolutely racking them up, getting some really good vantage on them as well. All he's basically looking for, as he almost goes down, is he's trying to get some call-outs to his teammates to basically let them know what is happening on the positioning of the players down south, further down the hill. As I mean, his teammates have really spread, aren't they? Right down. They're trying to push into the blue from the opposite side. So Valentine is literally just providing call-outs and trying to get us a few knocks as we approach the later game.
Look at this, though. You can see here, Sky, all three members are trying to push towards Valentine here from Team 1, but Sky do take down one. So you can see Valentine, actually, their team could sandwich the entire team of Sky if they want to. Some good back and forth here. They realise that they're actually being completely surrounded as the push comes in. This is what I mean. The coordination and the synergy from both these players needs to be in sync. As they're trying to push up onto him, Valentine does get taken down. Sky, the entire team had to push one of the sides. Eventually, it was towards Valentine as he does get taken down. 47 does have that scar in hand, switching to the AK, and now he's just trying to regroup, but also trying to restack as much ammo and everything he can as much as possible. As everybody got a great helmet to work with, does have the meds, but is he going to realise that Sky's directly behind this rock? He's going to try and flank on through, but he's actually going to get picked off only so slightly, only taking a tickle of damage as he's now trying to get out of that zone, but also trying to survive. It does finish off on the teammate of Sky eventually. So look a bit of time there, tried to go for the flank, but someone else was trying to finish him up. But Kenzu now manages to take a little bit of damage of his own, does get taken down there, was trying to finish him up around that left side. So you can see two of the members are down. Solo, funny enough, is the last man left standing for their team. Still 5 alive. Not sure he's going to be able to do it even with that M4, even though there's a fair amount of meds, but it's going to be a real struggle here. It's going to push on through, go for the flank, and gets taken down right at the very end. Good stuff from Sky. You've got to remember, 2 or 3 of their members were directly in the middle of all the other teams in general, and it's so hard to get out of that situation. If you want to, you need to just push all one side together in sync and in perfect coordination, and that's what they did after a little bit of time. Great stuff on that.
Team 1 had definitely a great pinch going, but it just made Sky, forced them to push basically, and when they pushed up, they got the advantageous position. They were able to sit at the top peak, and they had a great position basically to just close out the game. So Team 1 effectively aided that win for Sky, unfortunately, when they did have a good pinch going. But hey, that's how it happens, and they managed to secure the chicken dinner at the end there. But to keep up to date with everything happening in the ESL Mobile Open, just put !social in the chat, give us a follow, and you can stay up to date with all your favorite esports. But up next, we have all the action from this week in Clash Royale.
Thank you all for watching the ESL Mobile Open. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also don't forget to follow us on social media at ESL Mobile.